Hello friends, and we are continuing with our step-by-step Python tutorial. And in the previous part we discussed about data types in Python, and moving ahead in this part we will discuss about variables in Python, declaration of variables and their usage. So for reference, I am using this slidescope.com Python app home. I am using this URL. So I will also share this article in the description. So what are variables? So variables are used to store values in Python or in any programming language. These variables can be used later on in the program for computing purpose. Variables have a name, they have a value and a memory location in computer. So for example, again we are using our Python IDE, that is idle, and here we are going to discuss about variables. As discussed, variables are used to store values in Python. So variables are value holders, and instead of that value, these variables are used in the program. So variables are type of replacement for a value. For example, if I write x is equal to 5, so in this case x is the name of variable. This is equal to sign here is known as the assignment operator. Remember, single is equal to sign is known as assignment operator. We will discuss it in our upcoming chapters also. And this 5 here, this is known as the value that is stored inside this variable. So we will have separate lectures for our operators, and in our course overview I have added one more option here, and that is operators in Python. So we will discuss in great detail these assignment operators, logical operators, arithmetic operators and various other type of operators. But for now we are only using one such operator, and that is known as assignment operator. There are other assignment operators as well. Now here x is, again x is the name of variable, and variable is written on the left hand side of this assignment operator, and the value that is being stored in this variable is written on the right hand side. So this is how variables are created in Python. Currently this variable is holding a numeric value, and to be precise, this variable is holding an integer value. So in earlier example I demonstrated you how we can determine the data type of any value. So now what you can do is, in your type function as an argument, you will see idle is giving you some example also, object or name, basis, dictionary. So in your type function what you can do, you can now type x and you will get the same result. So as I mentioned, the value that is stored in this variable is now kept with this variable, and now this variable can be used in place of that value. We can store string data in variables also. For example, name is equal to Mohan. So here name is a variable and Mohan is the value that is stored inside this variable. Now if you want to print your variable, you can write print and you can write name and hit enter. So now you will get Mohan. Similarly, we can type name is equal to, let's say, Sohan, and now simply write name and hit enter. Again that value will be printed and you will get Sohan. The difference is when we have used double quotes, so then we have not used the print function, so Python has printed the string with single inverted comma. Now this is how you can create variables. For example, we can write condition is equal to true, and now if you will write condition or if you want to print condition, you will get true. So this is how we can store any data type value inside a variable, and then we can use type function to determine its type of condition. So this is class bool. Now next thing is, so now moving ahead, and so we have discussed these things. Now we are going to discuss what are some valid variable names. So how you can declare a variable, what are the correct ways of declaring a variable. So first condition is a variable name must start with an alphabet. For example, you can write any alphabet from A to Z or capital A to capital Z. You can write any alphabet, but the name should start with an alphabet. For example, email is equal to abc@mail.com. Here email is your variable and is a valid variable. If you have to write another email, you can create another variable name. Email1 is equal to abc at, let's say, gmail.com. This is another email. But if you write your variable name starting with a number, then one email is equal to, let's say, acv@mail.com. Now you will get an error because you have started your variable name with a number. So the first condition is you cannot start a variable name with numbers. You can write it down and you can make it a regular practice. Do not start your variable names with numbers. Now next thing is, suppose you have two words in your variable name. So to create variables with two or more words, the valid special character that we can use in creating a variable name is underscore, or you can keep the first letter of first word capital and second letter and the first letter of second word capital. You can write it this way also, or you can keep the first letter of first word small and you can keep the first letter of the second word capital, so that you can read these variables and you can understand what is written here. But these variable names are case sensitive, so this is a different variable for Python. Again, this is also a different variable. So all these four variables that are created here, these are different variables of Python. Now one more thing is there, we cannot create variable names with spaces. So let me try this example here, and let me create a variable name. First name is equal to Mohan. Now you are getting a syntax error, and the second word of our variable is highlighted in red. You cannot use anything other than underscore. Suppose any other special character, suppose we want to use first at the rate name. So we want to create a variable name with this format. So let me write this. If you will do this, can't assign to operator, you cannot use this hyphen sign or minus sign while creating your variable names. So what it is thinking is or what Python assumes is that first is some variable and name is another variable, and we are trying to subtract first from name, but because this minus sign here is an operator which we will discuss in the arithmetic operators section, and because this is an operator we cannot use it. So the conclusion is, if you have more than two words or if you have more than one word in your variable, use underscore or use capital letter or use camel case, use anything, but don't try to use special characters other than underscore. For example, date of birth is equal to 22 July 1980. So this is a valid variable. If you will print this variable here, so you will get the value, whatever value is stored inside this variable. I want to discuss one more thing. Suppose you have written x is equal to 56, you have written y is equal to 67, and you will understand this, type x plus y and you will get the value of x, the sum of x and y, because 56 is stored inside x, 67 is stored inside y. So variables are used to store values, and these values can be changed also. So for example, now I am going to write x is equal to 78. I have changed the value of x. Now when I will do x plus y, I will get a different value, because at this line the value of x is changed. So whatever value is assigned to a variable can be changed also. And suppose I write a keyword here, del x. So del here is a keyword, and now if I will try to print x, I will get an error that x is not defined. Why I am getting this error? Because this del keyword is an important keyword. This is used to delete variable, delete any type of variable, or so whatever values were stored in x, they were deleted, and also even the variable itself was deleted using this keyword. So while going with our tutorial, I will discuss some keywords, I will discuss some functions like print, type, and we will discuss various functions. So I am going to discuss one more function here. Let me write a variable first. I am writing name Mohan Singh. Now if I will try to, now I am using another built-in function of Python, and that function is len. And now if I will try to get the length of name, so it will tell that it will return 11. That means there are 11 characters in this string. So these things will be discussed in the separate section of strings, that is our chapter string manipulation, basic operations, slicing, and functions and methods that are associated with strings. So you can use len, it is short for length. You can use this len method. Len method can be used to count number of elements in a collection or number of characters in a string. So you can do this also. So I think that's it for this part of this video. I think you have understood what is a variable, what are the usage of a variable, and variables are very important because these variables save our time, and instead of writing here the name is small, but there can be an article of 1000 characters, and that article of 1000 characters will be stored in a variable name of few characters. So instead of writing that article, instead of writing those 1000 characters again and again, we can use the replacement for it. We can use the variable name to which that article is assigned, and that variable name will work in the same way as that particular article or that particular string would have worked. So like in this case there are 11 characters in this string, but we have replaced it with a variable name of 4 characters only. So we have kind of saved something, and this variable name can be used any number of times. And for example, you can write my name is and plus name. So my name is Mohan Singh. This plus here is an operator. This operator is known as this operator is used to add, obviously, but in this case when we have two strings, so this operator will be used to join two strings together.